I have been obsessed with this project since the renderings were released at the beginning of 2023, and today I have the pleasure of taking you on a full tour of Kansas City's newest entertainment district. Welcome to Pennway Point. Now, there's been a lot of talk about this 150-foot observation wheel, and for good reason. It seems like it appeared overnight, but what about the rest of Pennway Point? Well, in this video, I'm gonna interview the people behind the development to talk about the overall vision, why they picked this specific location, and lastly, when everything's gonna open. So I'm joined today by Dante, one of the minds behind this incredible development down here, Pennway Point. Can you tell us a little bit about where the inspiration for this project came from?
You know, the project has evolved multiple times over the past few years. So one of my partners, Vince Bryant, he's the developer and kind of creator of all of Pennway Point. So he got the historic Carter Waters building and the property under contract in 2020. He bought it for the historic building. The initial plan was probably to scrape most of the rest of the property, but as, you know, Carter Waters moved to their new location, we were allowed to come in and start demoing this property, and we were able to get through the yards and the buildings as they cleared the materials out and realized that these buildings were way too unique and cool to tear down. So then we started working on how do we reimagine the space.
And that's something that I absolutely love about this whole concept is like repurposing these old historic structures in Kansas City, because that's what makes Kansas City so unique, right? So tell us a little bit about some of the concept ideas for these buildings.
So obviously you have the Ferris wheel behind us. That's
right.
Phase one of the project. Da Vinci KC, our company, we've master leased about an acre of space towards the north of the property, which you see behind us will be Barrel Hall, and we have 4 different licensees that will operate in that concept. Boulevard will have a barrel-aged tasting experience and bar. Chef J Barbecue is moving their operations here. Nick Grunauer has a great new Austrian sausage concept called Würstel.
Würstel. Würstel,
yes,
okay.
Which means sausage in Austrian, I
cool,
believe.
Okay.
And then we've got plans for a whiskey bar that we'll have on the mezzanine adjoining Nick Grunauer's space.
Cool. So the location is something that's been somewhat controversial across all of my social media content that I've done on this project. So can you talk a little bit about that? Like, you know, address some of the concerns about it being located close to this overpass in the highway. Obviously we're down here now. I mean, it doesn't seem very loud to me.
You know, it's not terribly loud. It's part of the urban fabric that is the crossroads, right? And so we're sitting in a 3-acre site in the middle of downtown Kansas City that was underutilized, that didn't generate a whole lot of property tax revenue. And basically the way that we look at it is we've uncovered this jewel in Kansas City. Like literally this site helped build Kansas City from a historic standpoint for the last 100 years. And we're bringing it back to life, showcasing the industrial historic property and then modernizing it and activating it with food, beverage, and entertainment.
Cool.
Some bottle concept, elevated burgers. We partnered with Casey Cattle Company. They're a Wagyu beef rancher in Weston, Missouri, veteran owned and local company. So we'll be selling Wagyu burgers, Wagyu steak sandwiches, steak salads, and a menu of high quality items. Lots of bottled beer, wine, and spirits. So back here you've got where the floor is cut out, we've got a big master kitchen for the beef and bottle and a bank of restrooms. Imagine this is the back bar with all these beams exposed, a really narrow brass bar in front, lots of neon and porcelain and glass behind the bar, showcasing our variety of bottled wine, beer, and spirits. High top, 6-top tables all along this wall, 2 tops on the outside, a bank of booths over there. And so like when you walk in here, you know, the feeling is like you're walking back into a joint in like the 60s or 70s.
It's gonna feel kind of like a speakeasy almost.
Kind of like that, yeah. So
cool.
There's seating for, you know, 70 to 80 people in this room. We leave everything exposed, seal the brick, lots of neon and some really cool art in here, funk and soul and R&B music playing. And then we'll go upstairs where we like to say that we elevate the experience to the next level with the Funk House. A little history on the Funk House and where that name came from. This building was originally the Funkhauser Equipment Company. So they sold heavy equipment, dredging equipment in Kansas City starting in 1908. So this site literally helped build a lot of Kansas City. And so paying homage back to Funkhauser, we've named the space upstairs the Funk House.
That's so cool. Are you considering moving to Kansas City? Download our free relocation guide in the link below.
The dead man anchors on the wall, again leaving this space exposed, sealing it. We've got a bank of booths over here, a raised area, lots of TVs in this room, drink rail, a bar over there, bank of restrooms, and then you'll walk through that really cool old safe vault door.
So that's a safe door.
That's an old safe vault.
Whoa, that's awesome.
And so that's the entrance to one of our VIP skyboxes.
Cool.
So you'll go through this safe door. There'll be love seats on either side. You'll walk out to this skybox overlooking the indoor tailgate beer garden.
Have you thought about a name for that particular room yet?
Not yet, but we're
Okay,
working
cool.
on it. We're working on it.
Wow, I love how every single space is just so thought out and intentional.
Well, the goal was to create all these intimate spaces that are versatile, can be used as regular public space, or it could be sectioned off for private and corporate events, birthday parties, different things like that. So now I'm going to take you out to the mezzanine. So this is another kind of multi-purpose space. It's an extension to the Funk House when we need to for bottle service and private events. It's also premium seating for any event that we have going on in the Tailgate Indoor Beer Garden. But we've got 4 luxury box suites up here, and then the big one down there that you'll enter through the safe vault. An elevator will get you up to this space. This is one of the smaller spaces, but all 3 of these big bays hold 25 to 30 people. They'll be appointed with TVs in each corner, individual sound piped in, so lounge furniture, big head table. So like on Saturdays and Sundays, a group of people can come in here, rent the space. You can have 5 different groups up here watching 5 different games with 5 different sound piped in.
Whoa,
the space
that's gonna be awesome.
Great for families to come, rent the space for the day. It's a central gatherings and meeting place for the family. They can send people to ride Ferris wheel, play mini golf, play sand volleyball, play yard games, eat all food and drink, and then have a central place to come back and gather.
And then you're gonna have a retractable awning on this portion of the roof,
There'll
right?
be a retractable awning, right? And so just imagine being up here at night, and you've got a concert going on down there, you've got the Brooksider Bar activity down below this that extends from the mezzanine, and you've got this beautiful Ferris wheel all lit up spinning in the background. I mean, there's really nothing like it.
Yeah, I'm starting to really picture this come together, and it's getting me more and more excited about the space. And I love what you guys have done too with like putting trees inside of the space, right? To kind of bring the outdoors indoors. I know that was really intentional as well.
Very unique. So, you know, the Crossroads is lacking green space, and downtown in itself is lacking green space. So one of our goals is to bring as much greenery, trees, landscaping, and you'll see more as the project develops out, but really create this park-like setting in the middle of Pennway Point. We don't want to be someplace where you come and you grab something to eat and you leave. We want people to come and grab their lunch, sit out in the tailgate yard, work on our free Wi-Fi, spend the afternoon here working out in a park-like setting.
Cool. So this is the tailgate experience. Tell us about the rest of the experience, the outdoor part of Tailgate Park.
So the Tailgate Park is our outdoor area. By day, it's a game yard, sitting area. At nighttime, we'll have concerts, game day events for local sports teams, comedy shows, movie nights. We're talking to a couple different movie operators about doing a movie night on earbuds. Really, and then in the wintertime, we take that yard and we'll put an ice rink in the middle of it, and we'll have ice skating. You know, kind of like our version of Rockefeller Center. You know, with the amphitheater style seating, the food and beverage, you'll be able to come in, get some hot cocoa, get a coffee, go out and watch your kids ice skate on the rink.
Man, it's, as you're describing it, it's just, it's amazing the amount of entertainment that you're fitting into this space, like you said, that's in the middle of downtown, like prime real estate that hasn't been tapped into ever until now.
Well, we feel like we're a connection, right? So we're in the West Side neighborhood. We adjoin to the Crossroads in downtown, and you've got Crown Center and Union Station with over 1 million annual visitors a year each. You've got Boulevard Brewery with over 1 million visitors annually also. There's never been that connector. So Boulevard has always struggled with the fact that people don't walk from those 2 big destinations to their site because the area is a little bit, or has been a little bit, blighted. So we feel like this is a great opportunity to be able to connect now 4 major Kansas City destinations in Boulevard, now Pennway Point, Union Station, and Crown Center, not to mention Liberty Memorial in the park.
Wow. So another phase of the development that I'm really excited about, I know a lot of people in Kansas City are excited about as well, is the Neon Alley and the Lumi Museum. So can you talk to us about how that partnership was formed and kind of what we should expect from that?
Yeah, so Vince Bryant, one of our partners in Da Vinci and the developer, he and Nick Vidros met 6 or 7 years ago on another project. And as this project, started taking shape, Vidros came in and had this idea to let's put Neon Alley here. So over the past couple of years, we've been working with the Lumi group and Nick Vidros. He's done an amazing job of going out and collecting all these antique, historical Kansas City neon signs, finding sponsors to refurbish them. There's one, you can kind of see it right here. So the downtown Wheeler Airport, downtown Kansas City.
I see it.
That was in front of Wheeler Airport.
Cool. Now, another thing that I know has been brought up a lot by our viewers is the parking situation, right? We live in Kansas City. Everybody wants to have a place to park their car. What do you guys, do you have designated spots for that?
We do. So parking's really important. So we have leased a combination of 3 acres underneath the I-35 bridge and the Penway bridge for parking. So we can park close to 400 cars on site. When phase 1 of the Ferris wheel opens, we should have 100 cars that we can park, and within the next 2 months, 180 cars underneath the I-35 bridge.
Wow, cool. So it sounds like we're getting pretty close to that being operational, but what about the rest of the development? I mean, it looks like there's still a lot of work to be done here. What is your timeline for everything?
So obviously phase 1 is the Ferris wheel and mini golf and everything that Icon's doing with the KC wheel. Phase 2 will be everything along Jefferson. So Da Vinci, our company, we've master leased the barrel building, beef and bottle, tailgate. Our goal is to get everything open mid-2024 so that we can have Barrel Hall opening mid-summer, and then this building and tailgate fully operational by the time football season starts next fall.
Wow, okay, cool. So that's a pretty short timeline. You guys got a lot of work to do.
We do, there's been a lot of work that's already been done. So all of our design is finished. We're bidding out construction right now. We're waiting on a couple permits to come back, but we anticipate starting construction sometime after the first of the year.
Awesome. Well, I for one am very, very excited about this development. Dante, I really appreciate you accepting this request for an interview and kind of showing everybody in Kansas City and people who are visiting or maybe moving to Kansas City what this is really going to be all about.
I think everybody involved in the project is extremely proud to be here and proud to showcase this site for Kansas City. I feel blessed to be a part of it. I love showing it off. I can't wait till we can get everything open and people can come down here and see what we've got going on for themselves.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, I appreciate you, man. All right.
Thanks.
So what does all this have to do with moving to Kansas City? Well, I think it matters a great deal because it shows just how much the city is growing. And if you would like to know what it's like to live within walking distance of Pennway Point, then watch this video here.